It's really cold, but we got built-in life preservers. These seats, they
It's a cemetery with its own beach, or so they say. Get into that a little bit later. But for now, first stop on this tour is the 1877 tall ship Alyssa, which we'll see on your left here. The Alyssa was built in 1877 in Scotland by Alexander Hall and Company. You sail all over the world under 6 different flags. Transported every type of cargo you can imagine, and she's seen just about work and began to unload their cargo. It was just about as normal of a trip as you could ask for. That all changed when they began to unload the coal. As soon as they got to the bottom of the ship's hold, they made a shocking discovery. One of those dock workers had fallen asleep down there and had been buried alive in the coal. Some of the most treacherous seas on Earth. Young Charles Noyes was sent up the mizzenmast to furl one of the ship's sails. But the freezing rain caused the ship's rigging to freeze and become slippery, and he lost his grip, slipping and falling 60 feet to his death. And now, like I said, the ship is still manned by a crew of volunteers. They go out and sail every April. And sometimes when volunteers are going aloft onto the mast, they'll report a strange sensation of being pulled back down to the deck. On left, that was built only 35 years after the Alyssa, so you can see how much ships changed in that short period of time. And why this ship, the battleship Texas, was so intimidating to every day. Battleship Texas was built in 1912, the same year the Titanic sank. The old ship is a veteran of both world wars. It's even said that she fired the first shots of World War I, well, the first American shots of World War I at a German submarine in the Atlantic. The most famous story of USS Texas comes from 1944 during the Battle of Normandy, the D-Day invasions. Texas was floating just offshore, providing fire support to the Allied troops going ashore. After the initial invasion, the troops had pushed much further inland, and they were lonely and they were bored, so they decided to adopt a mascot, an Australian dingo. I don't know how they tamed the dingo enough to behave itself on a submarine where you're trying to be quiet as possible. You shouldn't have looking for you, but Oklahoma decided to move out here. He was fed up with life on land, so he took his chickens and his goats. Moved out here to Selma, bought it for $100, and became known as the Hermit of Galveston. They were asked him, why don't you move out to the ship and kill the day? They said, to escape taxes, wine, and women. Those were his words, not mine. Well, anyway, this little lock avoided at least 2 of those things, but he would host fishermen out here, and they would throw parties out here for years. They would bring him drinks, they would let them fish off of his ship. So he was a pretty friendly hermit as far as hermits go. Well, in 1952, he was forced to retire back to Galveston because of his temporary blindness. He died there, and he's buried to this day in the old Catholic cemetery on the west end of the island, on a marked grave. But some people say he never left his beloved Selma. That's why we're out here. Those ghost apps are always really active out here, so pay attention. And also look for a big blue heron, a bird that's always in the same spot, known as the guardian of the Selma. Some even say it's the spirit of the along himself.
I've had a dozen people come to me that have been fishing on here by themselves, saying that someone pushed them off the Selma. So apparently, if you don't bring in beer, it'll push you off.
How long has it been there?
It was 1922.
You said it was made out of concrete?
Yep. Well, Dan, come up to the front of the boat real quick so you can hear better. That's actually where he lived up there, though, in the raised part of the ship. Go out to the skull.
Skull?
I'll turn a little bit.
Yeah, there's a part that looks like a skull.
It's not too cold out here, actually.
Well,
This is good.
those are birds.
Yeah, I was saying, there's the bird.
There he goes. He was screaming at me. There it is.
That's so cool.
Well, so I haven't been entirely honest. Frenchie's not the only ghost out here. Got Ghost app. Some of the crazy things I've heard it say over the trips we've done out here. During one trip, and this is just all one trip, we heard it say axe, murder.
He thought if they washed him off again, he was going to haunt the whole building. He did not want that. So, he's been there several decades now. It's been a popular haunted spot for several decades. College kids and high school kids used to come out here, but their cars had a strange habit of driving themselves off the dock into the water. So it's been closed off for several years. You can now only see it by boat. If you do have a picture of Mr. Wallace, get it out. He'll come introduce you to the man.
Tell me about fun game with
Governor County said Bigfoot was a Texas Ranger and he did not like horse thieves. Said you can imagine back then stealing your horse was kind of like stealing your car and your best at the same time. So if you were found by Bigfoot William Wallace, the horse thief, he would decapitate you, tie your headless body to a horse, put your head on the horn of the saddle, and then set you free to West Texas. So you were found by Bigfoot William Wallace.